Hey guys, this is Jason with Smoking Eagles Rod Shop coming to you here from my home garage. Hey, this is an introduction of videos 6 through 10. This is kind of just a long play version of it. It kind of smashes them together so you don't have to go through the individual videos. But the cool thing is if you found something in one of them useful, you can always just go back and watch the videos individually. So I'd like to thank you for your support. You guys are really keeping me moving on this project, and I'd also like to tell you to look forward to some more of them. So, without further ado, here come the videos. Hi guys, this is Jason with Smoking Eagles Rod Shop, coming to you from my home garage here in Napanee, Indiana. Hey, we got that VR6 in there. It's looking real good. I like how that looks. Today we're gonna bolt some stuff up to it so that we can kind of mock it up a little bit. So I have a radiator, I have an intake, have a crack pipe, have a thermostat housing. I got a swirler can for the coolant. It's kind of important that I get all those in there and kind of in the way, and then that'll give me a kind of a path of where I'm going to go run my ECU harness. Yeah, I think I got an alternator. Yeah, I gotta get the alternator on too. Gotta find an alternator bracket. I also have an exhaust pipe, so maybe I can find a couple exhaust manifolds so that I can then put that exhaust pipe on there. And that should give me just about all my sensors that I'm gonna need to connect to. And then I can get on that wiring of an ECU, which is going to take a bit, but hey, I've been here, I've done that before, not a big deal. So kind of dragging today. I'm a little tired, kind of overdid it this weekend. But hey, you know, you get excited doing something like putting the VR6 in, so just make it happen. I'm gonna put you up on time lapse and see what I can get done on this engine bay. I mean, it's probably not the right way to make that happen, but you know, if you want to shorten that bracket up just for the alternator, it does a pretty good job of cutting that. That's actually a non-ferrous cutting blade. So, you know, the only portion I need is this little portion for the alternator. And I think it does a pretty good job of just cutting that right off there. What do you think? How much of a bad idea is that? Okay guys, this is a cool little tool. It's a little bitty ratchet, but it takes the 1/4 inch square bits, and then you can just go find some Milwaukee metric sockets, and essentially that thing will get right in there. I mean, it'll get in places where you would be left with an Allen head, and it just does the job just beautifully. This is one of these tools that you're probably going to need if you're going to work on Volkswagens. And the cool part about this thing is if you need to put a little extra oomph on it, It's got a 1/4 inch ratchet down below, and you can literally just extensoid it and go. But get you one of these little guys. They're really cool. They're ultra thin, and then you can just get a set of those bits, those 1/4 inch drive bits, and it'll save you a lot of headache, especially on these Volkswagens. There's always Allens in very tight spots. So yeah, highly recommend one of these. Pretty cool. Oh, it goes both ways too. Okay guys, we got a lot of stuff mounted up in there. We got a radiator in there. We got a Schmiel Performance short runner intake. Got the adapter plate that me and Dustin made last winter. Got a throttle body. I like using these throttle bodies other than the what is it, ODB2s. This is a Ford throttle body. And then this has a Wilson manifold adapter to go to a GM or a it's a pretty common IAC valve. And then down here is a Ford throttle position sensor, TPS. Those work really well with the ECU that I'm running, because I'm running a Holly. And then just some fuel injector clinic injectors. Got a new alternator down there, new tensioner. I need to get a crank pulley and a water pump pulley. I do have a S&P automotive radiator. That's a really slick unit. That's really going to help out. I don't know if I could have figured that out on my own. It's also got the S&P automotive swirler thing. You can find those guys at VW Search and Rescue. In fact, the majority of what you're looking at is either S&P Automotive, the mounts, or it's Schmiel Performance with the engine, with the all that stuff down there for the oil. Yeah, between those two sites, you can make a pretty mean little VR6 in a Mark 1. I'm going to see if I can't find some exhaust manifolds and get those on there. I have a 2-into-1 exhaust. I'm going to see if I can't get that on too. I think that'd be a good stopping point for the day. I mean, I think that looks pretty good. Just all shoehorned in there. Yeah. I'm gonna go see if I can find those now. Well guys, that went on super easy. Yeah, that's all down there. It's just mocked up. Yep, there's bolts missing, I know. But I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good for the day, you know? That big old radiator in there. Got my oil pump, my oil cooler, my water housing, my little swirler tank, my throttle body. Yeah, I think that's a good spot to stop for the day. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm so stoked on that. That looks so awesome.
Wow, guys, that's a pretty good day's worth of work. Only took stuff off a couple of times that I had put on. So I'm gonna call that a win. I got the motor in, I got the intake on, I got the exhaust on, I got all of the coolant system in. I have everything on the front of it that's gonna need a belt, just the alternator. Yeah, that's rocking and rolling, man. I should be able to start up on that wiring harness now. I'm gonna have to throw some sensors in it. I'm gonna have to pick a spot for my ECU, and then I should be able to start throwing some wires in there and some connectors for the engine, and see if I can't get the engine all hooked up. There's a couple little things like the radiator mount. I need to address that. That's not exactly how I want it at the minute. It needs to be stabilized up a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. There's always a million little things. You can get a lot of it done really quickly with that. I think I'm gonna put you guys on time lapse and pick up and put away some tools. I got some trash laying around. I need to clean up and get that in the trash can. Trash does go out today, so I need to get that trash can out to the trash. And I need to get this little motor and transmission in the bed of my truck. So that's gonna be interesting. I'll probably just take my engine hoist out and hoist that into the truck. And then I'm gonna go over to Dustin's. Go over to Smoking Eagles Rod Shop HQ and see what he's up to today. Dump off some scrap, hang out with my buddy, and see what trouble we can get into over there. See what we're up to over there. Yeah, good day. Another good day in the garage. I'm gonna put you on time lapse, clean these tools up, clean my bench up, okay? Well, that didn't take that long. It gets easier. If you just do it every day, just put your tools away, make your bed. It's important. Do the little things, do them right. It'll help you out in life. Yeah, I think that's it for the day, guys. Until then, see you around. Hey guys, this is Jason with Smoking Eagles Rod Shop, coming to you again from my home garage here in Napanee, Indiana. We're gonna be working on the LIL Yellow Truck some more. I definitely made some problems for myself, and I got to get to figuring them out. Essentially, I'm trying to replace the brakes with one of these big contraptions. It's a brake clutch combo trio thing, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that mounted in there. And part of figuring out how to get that mounted in there is the steering column pretty much being in the way, so we're going to address that too while we're here. We're definitely going for that race car vibe, so it's going to have the big wildwood brakes and clutch, and it's going to have more of a race type steering column. So yeah, let's get rid of things that, you know and good and work and are factory and that you can buy parts for and that there's solutions for, and let's completely just throw those out of the window and make something from scratch, because I've done that so many times that yeah, essentially, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm spending a lot of time trying to figure it out because, yeah, at this point, I've made a lot of problems for myself, and I got to figure them out. So let's get to figuring out what we don't know. And I'm just going to set you up on time lapse again in the cab, and yeah, I'm going to work around. There's a couple things I got to figure out. I got to figure out the steering coupler that connects to the steering rack. So I'm going to have to, at some point, I'm going to have to get that out today. The steering column's going to come out today, and I'm probably going to compare these Wildwood pedals to the stock pedals about 87 times, and I'm going to scratch my head some, and hopefully I get enough courage to start cutting holes and moving some sheet metal around and making that work. Wish me luck. I'll bring you back when I got an update, but other than that, probably just going to be a lot of looking around. So stay tuned. Well, guys, I've been kind of messing around with that. I put the column in there, put the old brake in there, I put the new brake and clutch in there, and I made a little template up, is where I think it's going to fit. And I think if I drill those holes and make this template, that it's actually going to go through there. So I transferred that over to this big old plate. I mean, this thing's like 3/16. I got two of these. I'm going to put one on the inside of the firewall and one on the outside of the firewall. At least that's the plan. And then just kind of pinch that through, and then we'll add some supports coming down from the steering column to this brace and kind of triangulate that all up and make it really rigid. I traced that pattern onto here, and I think I'm about ready to cut. And I'm gonna cut it onto this plate, and then once I cut it out of this plate, I'm gonna use that plate to figure out where I need my holes, and then I'm gonna cut my holes. Wish me luck. Here we go. Well, guys, I think that's pretty good. That's what I was going for. I think it came out pretty good for my fabricating skills. I'm not saying it's the best job ever, or that it should surprise any of you that I actually do still have all my fingers. So, me and an angle grinder, we've been playing together for a long time. Do I really know how to use it? No. Do I get it done? Yes. So let's see if this will test fit up in there. And if it does, I'm going to circle out these holes, and I'm going to get to cutting some holes. Oh man, that's terrifying, saying it out loud. Okay, back to time lapse. Wow, that actually went in there a lot better than I thought it was going to. Like, yeah, as you can see, I mean, that's going to be right where you want it. That's gonna be pretty cool, guys. So that's a big old brake. The clutch is steering over. The steering stuff still all clears. Gas pedal's gonna get moved. So yeah, so there's essentially there's a big, that plate is 3/16 steel, and on the outside where it comes through with 6 bolts, I'm gonna put another 1/16 inch plate, 3/16 inch plate on this side. So it's just gonna sandwich that all together. And then back on this inside, we have these bolt holes up here. We have bolt holes up here, and essentially I'm just gonna attach those to the steering column. So that'll reinforce it up there, go there to there. Yeah, there's actually plenty of clearance down here. It's tight, but there's plenty of clearance. Wow, that actually looks way better than I thought it was going to. I have a different steering column on its way, so when that gets in, I should be able to do something with that. And then I'm gonna replace these big joints with smaller ones that are a little more tucked. And then that hole in the floor, I'll probably put a bearing, there, one of those pivotal firewall bearings for steering columns, just to make it a little more secure. But other than that, I think I need to punch the 3 holes through this side of the firewall so that I can mount the little master cylinders. And then I think at that point, I think that'd be a good spot to call that project done for the minute, until I get that steering column. Wow. Well, that's actually a lot more progress than I thought I was going to make today. So I think I'm going to clean up and go eat. So yeah, put you on time lapse while I clean the garage up. Yeah, guys, it's important to clean your shop and make your bed every day. It says something about you. So guys, yeah, that wasn't actually that long. I thought it was going to take a lot longer. I'm really happy with that, and I need to get a 1.5 inch hole saw to pop those holes through the firewall, and I need to make the other plate. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. I'm starving. I need to get some food. Well, guys, I went and got some pizza. I got a hole saw. I kind of feel like I'm really close to just putting the check mark on this brake master cylinder project. I'm literally 3 holes away, and I need to cut 1 more plate, and I can call that done. So I think I'm just gonna knock that out real quick, and hopefully get that done today, and get on to something different tomorrow. So let's get you guys on some time lapse, and let's cut those holes in the firewall. Well guys, I got the backside done. I think that came out pretty good. That's about the shape I was going for. It's days like today where I got to fabricate stuff in my home shop that makes me feel so grateful for great friends like Dustin, who lets me come over to Smoking Eagle's Rod Shop headquarters and work there. He's got all the cool tools. He's got all the cool anything you would need to make it happen. So yeah, I got it done. It is what I want it to be, but yeah, kind of makes you think of your friends and the help they offer you sometimes. So let's get this together now and see how it looks. So I think that came out pretty good. So there's two master cylinders for the brakes and one for the clutch. And essentially what it does is it connects to both sides of this. It connects to both sides of this, and you can basically adjust your front back bias by adjusting that left to right. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, that's there. And that's on there. Well guys, that wasn't that much extra work. I thought I was going to be out here for a lot longer. I am glad that I stopped and got pizza though. So that was a smart decision. Yeah, what a great day. Got a lot done. Tackled something I've been dreading all week. It came out better than I expected. Really excited about that. Thanks for watching. Hi guys, welcome back. This is Jason with Smoking Eagle's Rod Shop. I'm here again in my home shop here in Napanee, Indiana. One of the reasons that I got the engine in a mocked up stage like it is so that I could get working on the wiring harness. Even in the Beetle, I ran a Holley HP. I have a Holley Terminator right here, Terminator X, and they basically share the same main harness. So I've built one before for the Super Beetle, so I'm gonna build one again for the little yellow truck. I learned a lot while wiring the Super Beetle, so the truck is a little less intimidating, especially with using a Holley ECU. I really like them from the standpoint of tunability. I have a local tuner that basically is willing to help me because I have a Holley HP. That's kind of one of those things. Either you need to be, you need to know what your tuner's willing to work with, and for me, it's worth the extra time, effort, and figuring it out of going to a Holley than to be searching for a tuner. So I'm gonna try to get that in the truck. I'm gonna try to figure out where I want to put the ECU, and then I'm going to try to get my wires routed up to the front of the truck where I want to branch everything off. I'm going to try to tuck the harness. I'm going to try to tuck the harness really nicely. So I'm hoping to get the ECU in, get the wires routed to where I want them. I need a bulkhead to go through the firewall. I have one on order. It's not here quite yet. When that gets here, then I can really dive into the wire to actually making the harness. But for now, I can at least run the wires and get them to where they go. That was one of the reasons why I put the motor in the truck before everything was ready to go anyway. So it's probably not that going to be that great to film, but yeah, we're going to film it anyways. I'm probably going to work on it every night this week. I'm probably literally going to be out here every night working on it this week, and hopefully if I stay diligent at it, by the time the weekend comes, I'm gonna have something. So let's oh, I also got some other things as well. Hold on one second, I'm gonna flip you guys around. So I also got this shift tower. It's one of those real fancy ones with the shifter and the whatnot, but I got to get these bearings out because I want to get this thing off and get it powder coated. Additionally, I have these the remote reservoir and the cap for the master cylinder, so I'd like to get that on, maybe see if I can't mount some remote cylinders. I also have my my rod ends. These rod ends actually connect to the transmission where these two connect. As you can see, when they removed this engine from the junkyard, they just clipped it. So it's kind of nice that they're there because I have all the extra stuff just in case, but I need to switch to these so that when I'm ready for the shifter, then I can just go in there with that. But yeah, we're gonna work on that a little bit. We're gonna work on those a little bit. We're gonna work on this guy a little bit, and hopefully I can find a home for that guy. Yeah, that should be pretty good bit of work. Uh-oh, got you staring at the garage. That's what you guys sit on. That's the homemade stand I made for you. Well guys, that took longer than I thought it was going to. There were some bearings pressed into these holes right here, and there's one on the other side as well. It's tucked way up in there. It's kind of hard to see it. Let's see if we can't get it on camera. It's hiding. Anyways, there are some bearings tucked up in those holes, and I need to get them out if I'm gonna get that powder coated. So I had to get those bearings out of there, and man, that one just did not want to come out. So I fought with that for a while. I then took this off, and I enlarged the holes just a little bit because I noticed that it was sitting just a little crooked. So I wanted to get it back shifted a little straighter. I think it still has a little ways to go to get perfectly straight, but we'll do that once we have it like on the ground with fluids in it and whatnot. There's a little bit of play in there. So yeah, I also got rid of the main harness, what was left of the main harness. I'm just going to redo it all. I already knew I was going to, but I wanted to tuck the wires, and I've seen wires tucked a couple different ways. Sometimes they take the fenders off and then they run them up through there and then pop them in down here and then run them across. But I saw a guy on the internet who did kind of like a race tuck where you can still get to it. And what he did was he came through right down here, and then he literally just snaked and just snaked and stayed right underneath that crumple zone, and then came down on the front. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I think on the driver's side, I'm going to do the lights and you know, the lights and the fans and the starter. All that stuff's going to come through that side. And then over here on the other side, I'm going to come through with the all the stuff for the engine, for the ECU. So I'm just going to tuck it up underneath that mount, run it right up, you know, underneath this frame rail, and then once I get down on here, I can bring it up to the top. And then once I get it about in the center of the engine, I'm going to bring it through. So my injectors will come through there, and I'm probably going to put the coils right on top of there. So I'll probably bring the coils right up there too. And then basically all my sensors will tuck down to the front underneath the underneath this radiator support, I guess. And then they'll tuck right along this frame rail underneath. And then I'll just put a bulkhead through the firewall right there. And then I'll put probably just a grommet through the firewall over here. I'm not trying to do anything too fancy. And then I'll probably have an additional grommet over here for my crank sensor and my cam sensor. I don't really want to. I don't want to put those into a bulkhead. I'll just run those through a grommet through the firewall. And my O2 sensor is right down there on my pipe. So I might do the same thing. I might just pop through with a little grommet and drop down to my O2 sensor. And then I'll probably just drop through with a grommet for my cam and my crank. And then those wires won't be cut at all. They'll be straight from the ECU all the way to the connector. And then I'll do a bulkhead through there for the rest of the engines, the injectors, the ignition, the air pressure, the air temperature, the coolant temp, the IAC, throttle position, oil pressure. I'll do all those through a bulkhead in that corner right there and route it around. Man, I really wish I had my bulkhead right now. I'm thinking I might be able to reuse this for my ECU, this bracket here for my ECU. But if I can't use that for the ECU, I'll probably use that for the for everything else. I'll probably just use that for the fuse panel then if I can't. But then that kind of leaves me with figuring out where to put the ECU. So that's kind of what I'm up to right now at the moment, is I'm gonna worm around a little bit and see if I can't figure out a good location in this cab for an ECU. Okay, I'll be back in just a minute. Hey guys, I used a little cardboard aided design, also known as CAD, to make me this little flap right there. It fits right in there real nice. I'm gonna be able to see the lights on the back. I got plenty of room for that big snake of wires that has to come in and out of there. And I think I have enough room down here for a little fuse panel for any fuses that I need for the lights. In the Beetle, I'm only running a little 6 fuse panel. I'm only running a little fuse panel, so I think I won't need much more here. But yeah, I think that ECU's gonna tag right there. I mean, my feet are plenty out of the way. I could shorten that up even a little bit, but I'll leave it long for now. I think that looks pretty good. I also need to make a cover for this. I think I'll just use that as a template, and I'll make a little sheet metal cover for that. I also need to make some drop brackets for this guy for the new steering column that's coming. So I think we're going to go over to Dustin's. I think we're going to go over to Smoking Eagle's Rod Shop HQ, and we're going to do some fabricating where we have some better fabricating tools to fabricate. Okay, yeah, let's go over there. Let's see what Dustin's up to today. All right, guys, we made it. We're over here at Smoking Eagle's Rod Shop headquarters. Let's go in here and see what Dustin's up to right at the minute. He said he was out in the shop all day. Oh, man. What's that thing doing in here? Let's get a sneak peek. Help, it's still got its heads on. Oh, buddy. Hey, what are you guys working on?
David's little house, his tiny house.
It's micro house on wheels.
All right. You know it. What's up, man?
Well, guys, I'm here. I'm gonna get some work done. I'm gonna hang out with Dustin. I haven't seen him in a minute, so yeah, I'll show you what I got done. Hey guys, this is Jason here. I got a lot of stuff done over at Dustin's. I got this little block off plate made for my shifter. I got my little tray made for my ECU and my fuse panel, and I even got these made for a steering column that should be here pretty soon. So all in all, it really helps to have a shop with tools in it. Thanks for letting me come over, Dustin.
No problem, man.
Well, guys, I thought I'd bring you in here and let you see. I got that panel in there for the ECU. I got the new steering brackets in there for the smaller steering column. Could have dropped it down about an inch too. That should help with the steering height. Got that plate in there. I did make that panel wrong. I folded it on the wrong side, but I just unfolded it and folded it the other way. We'll just use that one for a mock-up. I'm sure I can make that out of... I'm sure I'll end up changing it anyway. But anyway, that looks like a good location for the ECU. Plenty of room up top there for plugs. Got a little area down here for the fuse panel. It's plenty out of the way. I think that's gonna do. That was good to run to Dustin's real quick and knock those out while I had a minute, while he was there. It was good seeing him. I miss him. We talked a lot about the channel and about you guys. Yeah, it's a good time. Well, guys, I was just out here for a little bit. I think I got those accomplished for the day. That was pretty good chunk of work for one day. Time to put tools away. Let's put some tools away. Put you on time lapse. Watch me run around. Well, kind of thinking back on the day, didn't get any wiring done that I was actually hoping to get done today, but I guess the wiring has to start with the ECU getting mounted. So I guess I'm one step closer now that I got the ECU in place. I still got a big pile of wires right there that I'm gonna have to put in this truck. I think we'll go over that in more detail next time. I think we'll go through some of that. I'll explain kind of my strategy, kind of my thoughts. But other than that, it was a really good day. it was a good day of thrashing. It was a good day to go see Dustin, hang out, get some stuff done. I got a lot done today. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't exactly what I was planning on, but it all needs to be done. So, progress is progress. Yeah, let's just keep moving on. Yeah. I'll see you guys around. Hey guys, this is Jason with Smoking Eagles Rod Shop, coming to you again from my home shop here in Napanee, Indiana. This is a weeknight, so I'm going to try to do 5 nights this week. I'm going to try to do this every night this week. I'm going to try to get out here for at least an hour, maybe 2, and work on the wiring. It's probably just gonna be a lot of time lapse, but I will when I have something to say, I'll probably bring you in and explain to you some of what my thoughts are and what my strategy is. So I'm gonna probably set up over on the bench and get you guys up on time lapse, and we'll just we'll work on this harness. See how boring this is. So I'm gonna go find a spot for you guys. Hi guys, so I got set up over here at the bench. Some of the things that you need to do is you need to get a printout of the pins. I make them really big because it makes it easier to see, and get printouts of the description of where it is, the color of the wire, the gauge, and then the pin number. So these are really handy to have. So the first thing you do is you take these 60 pins and you figure out which ones you're not going to use, and you just get rid of them and you plug them in the back. That's the first thing I usually do. My strategy they like to get tangled up. My strategy with an ECU is to just have it do engine things. I don't want it turning on fans. I don't want it turning on pumps. I just want it making an engine run. I want to make sure that it's prioritizing fuel and spark over shifting a transmission. I don't care. I want the engine to run the best as it can. So that's kind of my what I want to use an ECU for, is I basically strip it down to only engine stuff, and then I go from there. So once you get to this stage where you've stripped out the wires that you don't need, the next thing you need to do is you need to start associating wires with each other. So you're going to associate all the injectors together, you're going to associate all the ignition coil wires together, and then you're going to go from there, because you start breaking those out, and then you can worry about those as little individual groups then, instead of 60 wires. I've now got it down to under 30, or actually I got it down to under 30 that are not my big thick ones for my O2 and my cam and my crank. But you get it down to a reasonable amount of wires, and then you start bundling those off, and then you can work through it really quickly. So what I'm going to do next, what needs to be done next, is I need to bundle them off into their groups, like sensors, injectors, and coil. And if I can just split it down to that, this is going to go it'll help you. It'll help you if you get organized from the beginning. If you stay organized, like laying this in the car and then trying to figure it out, not a good idea. Get it figured out up here. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna put you guys on time lapse, and yeah, I'm gonna work. Okay guys, so I like to draw a little map on here. Like, these are my IAC over here. This is my ignition through here. And then these are my injectors up here. I like to draw a little picture. I like to draw on the little picture. And then that way I can get it right when I'm doing it. Well guys, I think that's going to do it for today. I got completely through my my B2 cable. Those are all my outputs. So I got my IACs, my coils, and my injectors. I got them set down. I got them down into groups. This is the kind of prep work that you got to do to make this project easier on yourself. I know a lot of people don't take the time and they just throw the wires out there and figure it out. But if you go ahead and get the pins out of there that you don't need, if you get the wires out of there you don't need to start with, it's going to make your progress a lot easier. And then if you get these down into the bundles, it'll make your progress even faster. And it's also going to make working on it later much easier. So yeah, put the time in up front and get it done. I'm gonna cut out for the night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. So yeah, stay tuned. It's probably gonna be the same view tomorrow. We're gonna do harness A. Well, it's now Tuesday, so I'm gonna jump on that A connector and see where I can get. Okay guys, I got that J1A cable connector ran out. J1A is typically, well, it is your inputs, and the J1B, J1A, J1B, J1B is your outputs. So in my inputs, I have my my CAN and my switch. So that's my CAN communication and my switch to turn my ECU on. And then I have this bundle where I have a sensor ground. I have a ground and a 5 volt. And then I have my TPS, my MAT, my MAP, and then I have coolant temperature, I have oil pressure and fuel pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, I got them. I got them. So I have my inputs all right here for all my sensors for my engine. And then I have my O2
and my cam and my crank, those are going to stay like that. I'm not going to run those through a bulkhead at the firewall. I'm going to run those through a rubber grommet. That way you don't mess with that shielding that's on there. That's very important. And then I have a bundle for my coils, I have a bundle for my injectors, and I have a bundle for my IAC. So I mean, when you break it down and you get it down to just you know, a small set of wires, it becomes really simple. Like, you can grab this and you know that it's the cam or the crank, and you can grab that one and it's the cam or the crank, and you know that's the O2, and you know this is your 6 sensors, and you know that these 7 are your coils, and these 6 are your injectors, and these 4 are your IAC. Once you get it like that and you get it laid out, then it becomes pretty straightforward. So now that my wiring harness is basically laid out, I need to get the ECU mounted so that I know how far to run inside the cab, and then how much I'm gonna need for the outside of the cab. So now I'm gonna have to mount the ECU. Well, that's pretty good for a Tuesday night. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be done for the night, and start up again tomorrow. See you then. Hi guys, so now that we got the ECU in, we got this big fancy bulkhead connector, and essentially we're just going to use that to connect the outside of the truck with the inside of the truck. Yeah, you gotta get it lined up just right, and then it just clicks together and does its thing. So this side will be mounted to the firewall. So I already got a spot chose for it, so I'm just gonna pop that hole, and I'm going to install this, and then I am going to run the cables from the ECU to the back of the bulkhead, and hopefully I can get that accomplished. Well guys, that tucked up in there real nice. So that's into the ECU, comes right across there, it drops down, it's going to go through that bulkhead, whack. It's going to come out this side, right there, which is a really nice spot for it. It's going to connect into there, and then it's going to slide right under that, I don't know, frame rail. And then it's going to come across the front, and then you're gonna have your injectors, and then you're gonna have your coil wires, and then all of the sensors are gonna be tucked down in underneath this front. So I think that's gonna end up pretty clean. Oh, and electrical tape's also handy as a Band-Aid. When you cut a hole through a firewall, don't fill in there for burrs. They're gonna be there, they're gonna be really sharp. I think that's going to do it for today. I think it's going to do it for today. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to put some sheeting around those wires, and yeah, start putting connectors on. I got to put sensors in the engine too, so I'll probably put sensors in the engine tomorrow, and then I'll start putting yeah, wire covering on, and start putting connectors on. Well, we're back out here for another night. I think I'm going to start putting some sensors in. I'm probably going to pull the intake off. I'm probably going to pull the radiator out. And I'm going to get a lot more access to that area down in there.
and then I'm going to get some of my sensors put in on the engine, and then I'm going to start pulling the wires and separating them out and getting them there. I have a whole box full of connectors and sensors and wires, and I got even more wire over there. So I'll probably just set up a little shop and get to figuring out how long my wires got to be, getting connectors on them, and getting getting covering on them. That's probably what I'll be doing tonight. It's probably just getting the links tonight. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna set you up on time lapse. Hey guys, thought I'd bring in here real quick. This is one of those tips and tricks with a VR6. It's real hard to get those spark plugs down in the hole. I like to just grab a little piece of rubber. I like it better than something that's metal, like the socket. I think it just works a little easier. So just get a little piece of rubber, twist it in, it'll go. And then you can just hand tighten it the rest of the way. Make sure you don't strip those things out. Well guys, I think that's going to do it for tonight. Essentially, I got all my wires ran. I got them cut relatively to length. Now I need to start putting covering on them and figure that out. I didn't find a good home for my fuel pressure gauge. I kind of don't like right here. So I'm probably going to put it in the fuel line somewhere. So yeah, I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to put that. So I'm just going to leave that one out and long for now. But there's my coil wires, there's my injector wires, my IAC, my coolant temperature. I got my fuel pressure in there. I got my map and my mat in there. Got my TPS over there. So I got a lot of the gauges. I got a lot of the sensors in here that I need at the moment. I think I can get to making this wire harness now. I think that's gonna be enough for today, guys. Hey, welcome back, guys. It's been a long week, but a couple hours every night has really got the progress done on this thing. It's time to pull this wiring harness back out of here. Add my switch 12 volt wires in, and my grounds, and start putting connectors and wire loom on this thing. This thing is pretty much in its final shape, minus that one fuel pressure sensor that I still have to figure out, but we can figure that out in the future. Yeah, let's get pulling this thing out. Let's get adding powers. Well guys, I got that injector harness wired and loomed. I think that looks pretty neat. I think that looks pretty slick. I think it looks pretty tucked. It goes down there, it wraps around, and it's going to run back to the firewall. I think that's where I'm going to stop for the night. Well guys, it's the weekend. This is day 6 now of wiring, so I'm going to just stay on it until I've knocked it out. I'm going to get that ignition coils, that IAC valve, and then all my sensor harness done. And then we're going to get back here and we're going to get them all into that big plug and through the firewall. And that's the plan. So I'm going to get you up on time lapse, and here we go. Well guys, that's all 4 harnesses. That's my injectors, my coils, my IAC harness, and then my sensor harness, which is mostly just going to be under there for those guys. I do still have to figure out what to do with this fuel pump, wire. But there are my 4 wires for my engine control. There's my connector. That's what's going to be next. Is going to be connecting that connector to that harness and connecting that connector to the harness to the ECU. But I think we're going to save that for another time because I've done enough wiring for a day. Well, actually for a week. So I think that's where we're going to end this video, and we're going to move on to something else for a moment. Give my mind a little bit of a break. Oh, hey guys. Man, my brain's just fried. Wiring a car is not a lot of fun. In fact, there's a lot of guys that are probably not watching this because it's wiring. And there's probably some of you guys that are like, man, that sucks. I've been there, I've done that. So tell me down below, what would you rather wire? What would you rather do than wiring a car? And have you ever wired an ECU to an engine? Man, it's something crazy when you got to run every wire. Anyways, I'm gonna clean up, and then we're gonna go. Okay guys, well, thanks for watching a wiring video. After editing it, I actually went back and I sped up all the wiring parts to 5x, like even faster than normal, just so that it was less boring. But yeah, wiring's boring. You basically do the same thing and then you repeat 1,000 times, and that's how you do a good wiring job. Is just grind, just keep doing it the same way every time. Just make sure you got the right tools and the right stuff available, and get it done. So till next time, it was a good day. Got a lot of stuff done. I mean, it's been a week. I'm gonna let you go. hey guys, it's Jason with Smoking Eagles Rod Shop, coming to you again from my home shop here in Napanee, Indiana. I just got done in the last video doing a bunch of wiring, and man, I'm just fried. My mind's mentally exhausted from it. So I want to move on to some other projects, and that's kind of why I powered through that. So I have a steering column that just came in, and I also got my shifter back from powder coat, so it's ready for assembly. So I need to assemble that shifter, and I also need to get the steering column out and get looking at it and start figuring out how that's going to go in the truck. So I think I'm gonna get you over on the workbench and do a time lapse on reassembling this shifter. It's about 87 pieces. It was way more complicated than I thought. So yeah, let's get over there, get that assembled so that we can get looking at the steering column, because I'm really super stoked about the steering column. Yeah, so like this is like the world's fanciest shifter, I think. It does this whole like, I don't know. It's supposed to be cool. I got it powder coated Bengal silver, and I spray painted some of the other little parts black. And yeah, I'm just gonna get this assembled, get the cables on it, see if I can't run them to the front of the truck, and get that done. And then we'll move on to this steering column that's kind of hanging out, and yeah, see if we can't get a bit of that looked at and maybe worked on. So what I was just wrestling was that cable through there. So I had to get it through that hole. I had to get it through this aluminum block in here. And then I had to get it through that sheathing and through there. So what I did was I rigged up a little piece of wire that I could hang down underneath that cable while I held it up so that I can manipulate that stuff in there. Then I had to get that spring in there and that shaft through there. So that was kind of tricky, but you know, if you just use your head, you can think it through. Now I have two holes, one there and one there, and I have to press a bearing into them. So I'm just going to use a bolt and a nut, and I'm going to press those two bearings in there. So that's what I'm about to do now. Well, guys, that took a little bit of effort, but it's together now. It goes back and forth. It goes that way. It's a real tight shift. I'm gonna get some cables on that and think about mounting that in the truck. But I kind of wanted to just get it back together today so I could set it in the truck and just see how it looks. So let's get that set up. Let's do that. So guys, I think that's going to look pretty cool. I think it's going to sit in there pretty cool looking. Probably got to build a little bit of a platform or something just to space it up, get it where I want it. Hey guys, let's see what's in the box from Motion Raceworks. Well guys, we got a really fancy dancy steering column. We're gonna get rid of that stock one, and we're gonna go to something that's a little more race oriented. That's why I made those drop brackets the other day over at Dustin's. So now I need to measure and cut and see if I can get that to fit in there. It's like way too long right now. Like, let's compare it to the old one. Yeah, so we gotta get down to that. So that's gonna be the next project. See how much longer that is. It's like a good foot longer. So yeah, I'm gonna need to cut that down, and I'll probably leave it just a little long and work on fitting it in there. So guys, if you ever need to cut a straight line around a piece of pipe, the best thing to do is just to put a piece of tape on there, because as you roll it on, it's going to kind of auto straighten itself, and it's going to help you make a straighter cut when you go to cut it, especially if you're using an angle grinder. So yeah, that should be that. Now that should look just about like that. Now I did leave it an inch long on both on purpose. I'd rather be an inch long and not need it than an inch short and need it. So that's kind of what I did. Yeah, I think we can mock this up and see how it fits. Yeah, there we go. Let me get that set up on the inside of the car and we can mock that up. Well guys, I think that's pretty cool. What do you think? Race truck? I think I'm going for that race truck interior look. Got the wildwood pedals down here, got the big shifter, got the race steering column. Of course you gotta have that quick release. Oh man. I like it when a plan comes together, guys. I got a little more fitting to do with the length of it. I definitely left it long. So now I'm going to have to shorten it up a little bit more. But other than that, I think that's pretty cool. I think the interior's coming right along. Oh yeah, I got a gas pedal too, by the way. I think that's going to look pretty cool in there too. Yeah. This is kind of why I wanted to be done with the wiring. I wanted to get on to some stuff like this. What do you think? Well guys, I think it's time to put some stuff away, clean up. You know the drill. Here we go. Always clean your shop up after you're done working. It's the little task that keeps things moving, so you don't have to stop what you're doing to find what you're going with. Oh, I got a lollipop too from Motion Raceworks. Thanks, guys. Let's see, that's Yeah, it's a pina. It's a cream soda. Anyways, short little video today. It was nice to work on something other than wiring. A little bit of a mental refresh. Little refresher, and that steering column is something I've been looking forward to, and that shifter's been something that I've been looking forward to. I think that's kind of just a rough mock-up of what's going to go on. I'm probably going to enlist my buddy Zach to come over here and help me tack that column in where it needs to be, and then we'll do some final. Yeah, I gotta do some final assembly on that steering column. I gotta get my linkage all right. I have a universal coupler coming in the mail. It should be here midweek, but the shifter should be ready to go. I should be able to put the firewalls on, put the cables on it, and route it through the firewall and connect it to the transmission. So I can get to that now. I can finish up the steering. My throttle pedal's here, so I can do a throttle cable, and the steering column's mocked up, so I can kind of get a lot of things hopefully accomplished in the near future. Steering, throttle, shifting, brakes, clutch. So hopefully that stuff falls into place for me and I don't have too much trouble with it. It kind of looks like it's going to at the moment. But yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day to do something other than wiring. Yeah, thanks for joining me. I hope you're enjoying the build. Yeah. Till next time.
Well, guys, I hope you liked those videos. Yeah, hit the like button down below. Leave me a comment. Like, what did I do wrong? I really am always interested in what people think I'm doing wrong for some reason. But yeah, Dustin's going to throw some videos up here or down here or over here or up here. And also like a like, share, subscribe thing. It really helps the channel out, guys, so please do that. Other than that, look forward to more of these coming. Yeah. See you then.